Greetings, mighty companions. Anna Kujawa here, and we are doing a Course in Miracles like we always do on Wednesdays. But on Wednesdays, we do a Course in Miracles, the Complete and Annotated Edition, which is a different edition than the first two editions. So what's different about this edition is that this is an edition where the 45,000 words that came through the scribe Helen Schuckman that were left out of the first two editions are in this edition, and also complete with notations from Robert Perry, who is a brilliant Course in Miracles scholar. And so this edition has all that original material plus the notations from Robert Perry. And there is so much original material that is beautiful and powerful and amazing that I really wanted to teach this edition so that I could learn it myself. And I started at chapter 1, section 1, and it's been about three years or more now, and we are in chapter 6. So as you can see, I am not rushing through this. It's been 3 years, and I am only on chapter 6. So we're not rushing through it. What'd you say?
You're right on
and
schedule.
as Greg always reminds me, you're not late. You're just on schedule. So thank you for that, sweetie. I always appreciate that. And so where we're at, we're starting a new section today in chapter 6, section 6. So it's 6:6. Luckily, we're not starting on paragraph 6 because that would be weird. So it's chapter 6, section 6, and the name of this section is the Call to Awake. Woo! All right, I love it. Hi, Bridget, lovely to see you. She says, I, Anna, and MC's happy Wednesday. Beautiful. Lovely to see you, Bridget. All right. So this section is called the Call to Awaken. It's a very powerful and beautiful section. There's a lot of beautiful, powerful stuff in it. And so apparently there is a call to awake going on. Now, maybe you haven't heard it. Maybe you haven't heard that call to awake that's going on, but when you hear it, it will change your life. It changes your life, and that's when your life changes, okay? So there is a call to awake going on. It goes on all the time, and it's calling to everybody. It's not like God is calling to some people, some special people. That's what we learned from what we all learned from our religious, spiritual beginnings, that, God calls special people. God calls special people. Well, Course in Miracles is, which always says the exact opposite of all that we learned from our spiritual religious beginnings, that the call to awake to who you are and what you are is going on all the time, and it's calling everybody. So that's the call that's going on. To truly be woke, we hear that term in modern culture. I woke, she woke. What it really means to be woke is that you heard that call that's going on all the time from our source, our creator, which is the mind of infinite love. And that when you hear that call that's going on all the time, it says all are called, few choose to listen. So it's not like spirit and love and God is calling some people. It's like spirit and love is calling everybody, and only some people choose to hear that call and also choose to listen. Now, when you hear that call and you say yes to that call, that is when you awake to who and what you really are, and also why you're here. Now, the Course in Miracles also says that you will never rest in your soul until you hear that call to awaken and you say yes. And then until then, you're going to be searching and looking and feeling lost and looking, oh, I don't know who I am or why I'm here. Until you hear that call and you say yes, you will not feel fulfilled. Even if you have all the money and the power of the world, all the riches, all the power, fame, money, and physical pleasure that the world offers, even if you got it all. If you haven't heard that call and answered it, you will still feel unfulfilled. That's what A Course in Miracles says. Wow. So if you are having any kind of feelings like, oh, I just like, just don't feel fulfilled, I'm just not happy. I don't know, I don't love my life. I wake up and I'm, I got it all, but I'm still kind of depressed. I got it all, but I'm still like, is this all there is? The reason is because you have not heard the call to awaken and fulfill your function as a child of God, and you haven't heard it and you haven't answered it, and that's the only reason you don't feel fulfilled. So that's what A Course in Miracles says. And A Course in Miracles is very, very, very different than anything you have ever heard before. So warning.
Late warning.
Guys like, now you tell me. I've been around metaphysics and spirituality all my life, and I can tell you that A Course in Miracles is absolutely, completely different. I've never heard anything like it, and I've been around metaphysics and spirituality all my life. All right, so welcome to A Course in Miracles. It's very different than anything you've ever heard.
Would you say that they haven't heard the call because they haven't chosen to?
Yes, exactly. Greg says, would you say they haven't heard the call because they what?
They haven't
Chosen her? Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, here's the deal. You don't hear the call until you have tried everything else. I mean, power, fame, money, physical pleasure, everything, until you've tried everything. That's why, in my perception, the people who really love A Course in Miracles and study it, they're the people who have tried it all, either this lifetime or last lifetime. They done tried it all, everything, of all the extremes. They went from the extremes of total self-denial, I will be a monk for God and sacrifice every pleasure, every what, all the way to I'm gonna have all the pleasures of the world, all of them, and I'm gonna be a complete and total glutton, addict, whatever. And until you've tried all the paths that the world offers. Okay, so the world offers lots of paths. You can go power, you can go fame, you can go physical pleasure, you can go poverty, you can go the most suffering, you can go the most pain, the most power, the most wealth, the most beauty, the most specialness. That's what the world, those are the pathways of the world that the world offers. And if you believe in reincarnation, we just keep trying, I'll try this pathway the world offers. How about all the money and power in the world? I'll be the king and the queen. Okay, great. Okay, that didn't make me happy. Okay, now I'm going to try where I have total poverty and total self-denial. I'm going to be a total self-denial sacrifice for God. Okay, great, did that. That didn't make me happy. Okay, and there's everything in between, and then all the pathways the world offers, and you try them all, and then by the time you get to A Course in Miracles and you go, that's it. You've done tried it all, and the Course in Miracles says that there comes a time in everyone's spiritual evolution, whether it's one lifetime or 5 lifetimes or whatever, where you've tried all the pathways the world offers, all the money and power, fame in the world, and then or all the poverty and deprivation, for God, and didn't work, and you go, oh my God, there's nothing the world offers that made me happy, that satisfies me, nothing. I've tried it all. And it says, and you reach that point, and he says that you experience such depression that you want to die. And you're like, I've tried it all, I've done it all, I've tried it all, and I'm still not happy. And you are tempted, you feel like you want to die. And you may even choose death. And he says that in that moment where you're about to choose death because you tried it all and none of it made you happy, in that moment you can make your greatest advance. You could go, nothing in the world made me happy. Not having it all, not having nothing. And you can go, oh, that's because no pathway in the world, no pathway the world offers ever will fulfill me. And I'm going to do something that the world doesn't offer, called union with Source. And he says, you in that moment when you're about to kill yourself, he literally says in that moment, many people choose death. Many people choose to die. And he says in that moment, you can make your greatest advance, where you go, I'm gonna do something different I'm gonna choose a pathway that the world doesn't offer at all. And A Course in Miracles represents that kind of pathway. So if you are somebody who has literally tried it all, and I mean all of it, all the power, fame, money, and physical pleasure in the world, and also all the deprivation for God, I'm going to be a renunciate. I'll live in a cave and, for my life and have no pleasure and no food and no power. If you have tried it all in the world and you are still not happy, then take heart, because A Course in Miracles offers another path that the world doesn't offer, that really can bring you true fulfillment and satisfaction. So that's,
All those, every single pathway that I've ever known, none of them offer to give up guilt. And
yes,
guilt
that's right.
is what brings depression.
Thank you. All the pathways that the world offers, whether it was the greatest of power, fame, money, and physical pleasure, or the greatest of deprivation and suffering and victimhood, all of those pathways focus on the body. They're all about the body. They're all about what the body has or what the body doesn't have. So, in the spiritual, there's the so-called spiritual path. Like if you deny your body and you become an ascetic and you deny your body everything and you be in a cave and meditate and deprive your body of everything, then you'll achieve enlightenment and then you'll be happy. Okay. Oh, there's one. The other one is go for everything the body can have. Power, fame, money, physical pleasure. I mean, have it all. And then you're still not happy. It's because all the pathways offered by the world, all are about the body. And of course, in Miracles is saying that the only experience of true fulfillment and happiness and enlightenment is peace of mind. It's of the mind. It had nothing to do with the body. True happiness, true love, complete fulfillment has absolutely nothing to do with the body. It's all about you. Do you know who you are? Do you know who created you? And only the mind knows that. You can only know that with your mind. And so, of course, in Miracles is always talking about the mind. Do you know who you are? Do you remember who you are? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Are your thoughts in alignment with the truth of creation, or are your thoughts in alignment with fear? And it's all about the mind. That's why A Course in Miracles is not very popular, and that's why most people haven't heard about A Course in Miracles. Still to this day, even though A Course in Miracles has been out like 50 years, still to this day, people say, what do you know? I'm A Course in Miracles user. They're like, what's that? 50 years it's been around, and still people have not heard about it, and that's why. It's like, please don't tell me that I need to change my mind to be happy. Just tell me what I gotta do. Just tell me what I gotta do, And so that's why A Course in Miracles is not as popular as those mega churches that pack them out with 10,000 people, every Sunday. You're like, what's A Course in Miracles? But everybody's heard about all the other religions and churches and mosques and synagogues. All right. So Trisha goes, teach it, Anna. I love it. Thank you, Trisha. All right. Trisha's our dear friend who lives on the Western Slope. All right. So, That Palisades, thank you. So that's my opening meditation, my opening whatever. Hi Demi, hi Carol, hi Bridget, and Trisha. I love seeing y'all's names, always, always, always. Okay, so where we're at is chapter 6 in the annotated edition, section 6, the call to awake. So that's what we're going to hear about today. Whenever you hear A Course in Miracles, you basically are hearing a call to awaken. Okay, that's, you know, you're hearing, you know, you're perceiving correctly when you hear like, wake up, wake up, wake up. Course in Miracles is like, you don't need to do anything to be happy. You need to do anything to have love, to have abundance, to have safety, to have joy, to have family. You don't want to do anything. All you have to do is hear the call and say yes. Isn't that great? Isn't that so much easier and so much less expensive? You know, to do anything takes time, it takes money, it takes effort. You know, to do, the Course in Miracles is not about doing and doing this and doing things differently, doing it right and doing this. Course in Miracles is all about, do you hear the call and are you ready to take your place among the saviors of the world? Are you ready yet to take your place among the saviors of the world? Are you ready yet? Say yes, that's it. That's what it's all about. It's not about be more this and be more that and do more this and get more that and do some more of this and do more charity and be more charitable and be like this and get some more of that. It is nothing about that. This path is, are you ready yet to hear the call to take your place among the healers of the world? Are you ready yet to say yes? That's what it's about. And it's just too easy. That's why Course in Miracles is not more popular, okay? Because we're waiting to hear, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? What do I got to sacrifice? What do I got to do? What do I got to change? And Course in Miracles, nothing, not nothing. Sorry, nothing. But are you ready to say yeah? It can't be that easy. It can't be that easy. This must be a cult.
You just need a new, better settings.
Exactly, right.
How can God love me the way I am?
How can God love me the way I am? How can God want me the way I am right now? No way. No one's ever just said, I want you the way you are right now. Say yes. No one's ever said that to me. And so now when we hear A Course in Miracles say, I just want you the way you are, will you say yes? As you are, you don't have to change or do anything. You don't have to do anything. Are you ready yet? You know, and so because A Course in Miracles is just asking something I've never been asked ever before by people who say they love me, I can't get it. I read it, I'm like, I can't get it. I know, whatever, you know. That's why it is that still us and others hear what A Course in Miracles, we read it, we listen to it, and we're like, no. Because it's asking us something that we've never been asked before, and we have learned that you have to earn. We have learned that you gotta earn. That's what we've all learned. You gotta earn your love, your worth, your value, being sustained, being supported. When the Course in Miracles is like, you don't have to do anything, just say yeah. And we're like, that must be a cult. I am suspicious.
Too easy.
That's too easy. Click, and then we go off to something else that tells us we gotta earn it, and that we gotta change, and we gotta sacrifice in order to accept everything. So, all right. Okay, I'm going to step off my little soapbox now and actually read what A Course in Miracles has to say.
That was amazing. I had a goosebumps to see the whole thing.
Right on. Okay, so it says this in the Call to Awaken. So we're chapter 6, section 6, the Call to Awake. You, and it's underlined, are as certain as God because you are as true as God is. What? I'm as true as God is? What kind of cult is this? I'm as certain as God is because I'm as true as God is. What do you mean I'm as true as God? I don't even know what that means. That's right. Just accept that when you read A Course in Miracles, you will not know what it means. You will not understand it. You will not believe it. You will not know what it means. That's why you need A Course in Miracles. When it says you're as certain as God because you're as true as God, we don't know what that means. How can I be as true as God? It says that's the truth about you. As certain as God is, that's how certain you are. It says, but here's the thing. But what was once quite certain in your mind, your truth, your identity, your value, has become only the ability for certainty. It used to be that you were as certain of your identity as God is as certain. It used to be that you were as certain that you were as true as God, as loving as God, one with God, as real as God, as true as God. You used to know that. You used to be certain about that a long time ago, but you don't remember that. None of us remember that. That's why we're here. Nobody here remembers that. So now, what used to be certain in our minds has only become the ability for certainty. So now all we have is the potential, the ability to go, I'm as certain as God. I'm as true as God. God is only loving me too. That's it. End of story. All we have now is the ability for certainty. We don't have the certainty that we once had, but we do have the ability to develop that certainty. Now, it says that that's what we're going for here. In A Course in Miracles, we're learning to develop our ability to be certain. Right now, we're full of self-doubt. I don't have the ability to be certain at all. I don't have the ability to be certain about my worth. I don't have the ability to be certain about God's love. I don't have the ability to be certain about you. I don't have the ability to be certain about you. I have the ability to develop it, but that's it. I don't have certainty, but I have the ability to develop it. Now, can you imagine what your life would be like and how you'd be in your relationships and what it would feel like if you had developed the ability to be certain? Can you imagine? Right now, we walk around full of self-doubt, tons of self-doubt, tons of self-doubt. Oh, I don't look very good today. I wonder if I'm lovable. Who could love me like looking like this? Who could love me like that? No certainty whatsoever. Zero. You know, do I look okay?
Always changing.
Do I look all right? Do I have enough? Do you love me? Do you want me? Am I smart enough? Am I good enough?
Wow.
Am I okay? Do you like me? Do I like me? Is there something wrong with me? Just full of self-doubt. No certainty about the fact that we are as good and loving and true as God. But we have the ability. To develop. Abilities are something that need to be developed. Okay, so I want you to imagine that you've developed that ability to be certain. Be certain as yourself, as certain as of God. You know, imagine that. I would love that. You would have no more fear, no more insecurity, no more doubt, no more guilt. You would be walking around like, I am exactly as God created me. I'm as true as God. Woo! What can I do today? And literally you'd be walking around the world with so much certainty that whoever you looked at would be healed. Whoever you thought about would be healed. Whoever you touched would be healed. How about that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So now you see why A Course in Miracles is not more popular. It says things we're like, I don't even know what that said. I just, I don't even know what it said. And just remember that that if you're going to study A Course in Miracles and you're going to be trying to like understand what it's saying or believe what it's saying, then you're not going to make it very far with A Course in Miracles. You're going to put it down very soon. You have to understand that when you study A Course in Miracles, you're not going to understand it. You're not doing what it says. It seems completely impossible. You may not ever accomplish that, and you don't even believe that what it's saying is possible. And unless you can accept all those things, then you will put down A Course in Miracles and you will go to something else that agrees with what you've learned from the past, which is uncertainty and self-doubt. All right. Tricia says, I say yes. Right on, Tricia. Demi says, the way we are is spiritually made. We don't need to put layers on to mask our origin. Exactly. Thank you, Demi. I can always count on you, Demi, to just completely hear what it's saying and put it in the most succinct sentence. Good job. All right. So it says, but what was once quite certain in your mind has become only the ability for certainty. So we have an ability to have certainty in our worth and our value, but that's about it. Now, it says the introduction of abilities into being was the beginning of uncertainty. So we went from certainty to just the ability to be certain. And that's how it goes. That was the separation. That was the detour into fear. I once was certain, and now I just have the ability that I could develop, that I could feel certain. Like, how great would that be? Okay? So when you're talking about self-confidence, what we're talking about is the ability to be certain that you were created by love, and that's all you are, and that's all you'll ever be, and that's all that's going on. Okay? That's this spiritual path that is A Course in Miracles. And it says that abilities are potentials. They're not accomplishments. So that's what an ability is. Ability is something that you can develop. You can develop if you want to, but it's not accomplished yet. That's what an ability is. All right. Okay. And Demi says, powerful. Just thinking of someone can bring on healing. Love it. Absolutely. A Course in Miracles says, when you have certainty about the truth about yourself, all you have to do is think about somebody and they experience a miracle of healing. That's pretty powerful. Wow. And if that's what you're experiencing and that's what you're doing, you will never doubt your worth and your value ever again. All right. So right now, we are developing our ability to be certain about the truth about ourselves. That's real self-confidence, okay? There's fake self-confidence and there's real self-confidence, okay? And A Course in Miracles is teaching you how to develop real self-confidence, real certainty about yourself, okay? And that's what we're going for. Now, and when you have real self-confidence in yourself, then what happens is your personal conviction can sustain the conviction of others without you opening your mouth. And that's what we're going for. All right. And then people are like, I don't know what it is about you. I'm just in your presence, or I just see you and I feel good. All right. That's what we're going for. All right. And it says, your abilities are totally useless in the presence of God's accomplishments and also of your accomplishments. So when you're in the presence of God, then there's no like, I have abilities. It's so great. I've developed abilities. In the presence of God, there ain't shit to develop. Sorry for cussing.
Yes.
But Galia's here, so I just, I can't help myself. When you are in the presence of truth and God, there's nothing to develop. Okay? In your right mind, in your true self, you're complete. You're perfect. You're exactly as God created you. There's nothing to develop. Okay? It's only when you're not in the presence of truth that, oh, I got to develop something. Oh, I got to develop something. I need to develop my abilities. No. The way you're created, you don't have to develop anything. You're perfect as you were created. And when you are in the presence of your creator's not like, you're pretty good, but if you could just work on that a little bit and develop that a little bit and maybe take this class and maybe like learn how to do your makeup better and maybe lose a little weight or maybe go take a self-improvement class. When you're in God's presence, there is nothing to develop. There is no ability you need to develop. When you're in God's presence, God's like, you are exactly 100% perfect as I created you. You don't need to do anything. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being in the presence of a love like that? That's what we all are seeking. That's what we all think that we are looking for in our relationships. We all think that, if I could just find that person, like they think I'm perfect. Yeah, well, that's a real thing, but it's in the presence of your creator. So you definitely want to hang out more with your creator, because when you're hanging out with your creator, there ain't nothing you need to improve or change or develop. Okay? That's why it's cool to hang out with your creator. That's the one you want to be hanging out with the most. And then when you're hanging out with your creator and you experience how your creator sees you, where there's nothing you need to develop or change or anything, you're perfect as you are, then that's when you experience true certainty in yourself, and then you don't have to go try to get it or find it or manipulate it out of humans.
That's right.
That's the last place you want to be looking for certainty about yourself. Don't go looking at humans. Am I okay? Do you like me? Do you think I'm pretty enough? Do you think I'm smart enough? Do you think I'm lovable? Do you like me? Am I all right? You're not going to leave me, right? Yeah. What are you saying? Okay.
Could you imagine your kid doing that to you? They're always trying to prove to you why you should like them.
Yes.
Your own kid.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You'd be like, what?
Exactly. Thank you, Greg. That's perfect. Greg's like, can you imagine your child coming to you be like, am I okay? Am I all right? Do you like me? Am I good enough? Do I need to change? What do you want me to,
Can I get you something?
Can I get you something? Do you, and honestly there, I was talking to a kid client today, and she was telling me that I said, what do you want to accomplish? She was like, I said, what do you want to accomplish? She was like, I want to feel that my mother loves me. And I was like, oh man, come on. And I'm like, I said, well, I am going to help you find a love that you will never, ever doubt again. You won't have to be like, do you love me? I mean, we're talking a 16-year-old kid. Come on. And so, but we've all had that. None of us had parents who were like, none of us had parents who were like, I just want you to be yourself because that is perfect and that is all I want you to be because you are incredible. You couldn't even improve upon how you are. None of us had parents like that. None of us. Not even me who had like a spiritual mother. None of us had parents who were like, in my presence, there ain't nothing you need to develop. You don't need to develop any kind of ability or potential. You're perfect exactly as you are. None of us heard that.
But you do need to get your room cleaned up.
Yeah, exactly. Not even me, who's been studying A Course in Miracles. I mean, that's been my goal with my kid, but I was also like, and you need to clean your room, and you need to be home on time, etc., etc. But that's been my goal as a parent, is to try to love my kid the way that Course in Miracles taught me that my Creator loves me. And so I might say to my kid, honestly, there's nothing you need to do. You are literally perfect exactly as you are. And would you be willing to clean your room today? And luckily, because my kid had been receiving love, not conditioned on if she cleaned her room, she'd go, sure. And I go, thanks. So, all right. So what we're going here for is, it says, in the presence of your creator, God, love, source, it says your abilities are useless. There ain't nothing you need to develop, no abilities you need to develop. It says accomplishments are results that have been achieved. And when accomplishments are perfect, then abilities are meaningless. Okay? So once you've accomplished something, then you don't need an ability, right? The ability, once you've perfected skiing, then the ability to ski is meaningless. Who needs to develop the ability to ski if they've already accomplished perfection in skiing? Okay? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Once you perfected it, then who needs the ability? Okay? So accomplishments make abilities meaningless. And what it's saying here is that it says this. It says, it's curious that the perfect must now be perfected. Okay? That's us. We're the perfect. We're like, I need to perfect myself. I need to be more perfect. If only I had more money, I'd be perfect. If only I was more beautiful, I'd be perfect. If only so-and-so loved me, I'd be perfect. If only I had more money, I'd be perfect. And he's like, he says, curious. And here the voice of the Course in Miracles is being very generous and very humorous in saying, you're crazy, you're already perfect, but yeah, you gotta be perfected. Like, that's insane. The voice of the Course goes, it's curious that the perfect must now be perfected. And that's us. We're the perfect who think we need to be perfected. And so here we are, like, I'm trying to be more perfect. I'm trying to be more perfect. I'm trying to be more perfect. Oh, if only I had this, I'd be more perfect. If only I had more power, fame, money, and physical pleasure, I'd be perfect. I'm trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be perfect. Wasting time, wasting energy, wasting money, wasting our time, wasting our body, trying to be perfect when we're already perfect.
Trying to accomplish that somebody can accomplish.
And the voice of the Course is very generous, goes, that's curious. Instead of, you're freaking crazy. What is wrong with you? Stupid. The voice of the Course goes, that's curious.
That's a new way of doing it.
That's curious. That's a new way of doing that. That's interesting. So he's saying it's curious that the perfect must now be perfected. In fact, it's impossible. It's impossible that those who are perfect need to be perfected. That's impossible. We're trying to do something impossible. That's why we're so worn out. That's why at only 80, 90, 100 years, we're worn out. Now we gotta die. If you weren't trying to do the impossible, your body would last a lot longer.
Goosebumps again.
What'd you say?
Goosebumps again.
Yeah. So we're wearing ourselves out. We're exhausting ourselves physically, emotionally, psychologically, because we're trying to do something that's impossible. Now, if you weren't trying to do something that's impossible, then you would have all this energy, you would have all this energy. You wouldn't be exhausting your energy. Your body is energy, right? It's just energy. And there have been lots of beings who've taken on physical form whose bodies lived for hundreds of years. Well, how does that happen? Because they weren't wasting their energy trying to do the impossible.
No.
And every time you are trying to perfect yourself, oh, if I'm more of this, or I'm more of that, or get more of this, or get more of that, if you weren't wasting your energy trying to do the impossible, then you would your body could last so much longer. And that's why you hear all through the Bible and other sacred texts, lots of sacred texts, all the Sumerian texts, they talk about people who lived for hundreds of years. In the Bible, they talk about people who lived for hundreds of years. So anyway, that might be a side note. All right, Demi says, Anna, you're making me laugh with your duh, perfect to be perfected. I love it. And Bridget says, deep, beautiful. And hi, Jerry. Lovely to see you. Okay, so very deep. None of this I have accomplished. Believe me, I'm still like, I spent like a whole hour being like, is this the right top? Is this the right necklace? I don't know, what's the blah, blah, blah. You know, I spent more time trying to perfect my body than I did meditating before class. So I'm telling you that I have not accomplished this, but it sure is good to hear. So it says, it's curious that the perfect must now be perfected. In fact, perfecting what's already perfect is impossible. But you must remember that when you put yourself in an impossible situation, then then you'll believe that the impossible was possible. All right. So that's what we've done. We have put ourselves in an impossible situation. What's the impossible situation? Here's an impossible situation. You're perfect, and now you're going to try to perfect yourself. That's an impossible situation that we have put ourselves in. And it says now that we've put ourselves in an impossible situation where we're trying to accomplish what can't be done, it says now abilities must be developed. So now that I don't think I'm perfect and I've got to make myself perfect, okay, fine. Now then you're going to have to develop your abilities. You know, you can either be perfect or you can develop abilities.
You can confirm your perfectness.
Exactly. You can either be perfect or you can try to make yourself more perfect, which is another name for developing your abilities. So here's it goes. So the universe is like, okay, fine. You think you're not perfect? Okay, fine. All right. Okay, great. Well, then how about we just make the best of that and you develop your abilities? How about that? He says, as a matter of fact, it says abilities must be developed or you cannot use them, and you don't have to develop anything that's true. Doesn't have to develop its abilities, but developing your abilities is the kindest solution possible to what you made. Okay, so you think you're not perfect? Okay, fine, whatever. Then how about you just then develop your abilities so you feel like you're better, okay? That's the kindest use of your illusion, that you gotta somehow make yourself something. You think you gotta make yourself something? Yes, I gotta make myself perfect. Fine, then let's just find it, and then let's just work on developing your abilities so you feel like you're good enough, okay? Okay, great.
Earn your credentials.
Yes, exactly. Oh, you think you got to earn your credentials? You got to earn your love? Yes, I got to earn my love. Okay, fine. Here's the good way to earn your love. Become more loving. Develop your ability to be more loving, okay? Okay, that's hard. Yeah, but you're the one who decided that you got to develop your ability to make yourself worthy. So develop your ability to be more loving. Dude, that's too hard.
Just be,
That's the way our guys and teachers are all the time. They're like, Okay, all right, you're innocent. No worry, no guilt. You're perfect. It's all right. Take your time. Love is eternal. Love is eternal. So love's patience is infinite. So, okay. All right, here we go. Let's develop your abilities so you feel like you deserve love. And you feel like you're perfect. Okay, great. And that's what our guides and teachers are doing with us. Here we are perfect, but we don't believe it. So they're like, okay, fine. I'll help you develop your own abilities to be more loving so that eventually you can accept that you're perfect, as you always were, and you didn't have to do anything. Okay? That's what our guides and our teachers are helping us to do, and that's what the Course in Miracles is doing as a curriculum with us. Do you see how A Course in Miracles, the Course in Miracles knows that we are retarded? And sorry for being politically incorrect, but literally we are. Retarded means slow. Retarded means slow. And we are slow. Course in Miracles says children are those who don't know the truth. And that is us. We are very slow to accept the truth, to perceive the truth. Retarded means slow. And that means all of us. All right? So. Okay. So now our spiritual curriculum called A Course in Miracles. Now, this is what A Course in Miracles as a curriculum is now going to help us to do. Since we've denied that we're perfect as we are, then A Course in Miracles is going to do the next best thing with us and go, all right, now I'm going to help you develop your abilities so that you can develop your abilities to the point where you feel worthy of the love that you are and that you have, that you can never lose. All right? So now that's what A Course in Miracles is about. I'm going to tell you the truth about yourself. You're perfect, but since you don't believe it, that's fine. The next best thing, I'm going to help you develop your abilities. Okay? So that's what we're doing. All right. Now, and spirit going, so spirit, our teachers could be like, you're already perfect. It would be a total waste of my time to try to keep convincing you that you're perfect. It's a waste of my time, but because our teachers, the teacher that our Creator gave us is loving and it's infinite in its patience, it's not going to give up on us. It's going to say, all right, I'm just going to help you develop your abilities. So here we go. That's the kindest solution to what we made, which was what? An impossible situation. What did we make? An impossible situation. What's the impossible situation? That the perfect need to be perfected. Okay, great. So now that we know what we're going to work on. Now, here's how it goes. In an impossible situation, that's what we made. That's our specialty. Okay. What's our specialty? I specialize in making impossible situations. That's my specialty. I'm really good at it. Yeah. So I make a relationship that's impossible to have peace, impossible to have love, or I'm going to make a situation that's impossible for me to be abundant doing what I love. I'm great at making impossible situations. That's my specialty. Okay. And so our teacher once again is like, okay, all right. How am I going to make the best of this? All right. Okay. So our teacher goes, fine. In an impossible situation that you've made, okay, here's what we're going to do. In an impossible situation, you can develop your abilities to the point where your abilities get you out of that impossible situation. What? Okay, so I'm going to say that again. Here's the deal. Here's the truth. you have made an impossible situation for yourself, right? So you're like this, how will I ever like do what I love and be financially sustained, okay? It's impossible. How could I ever be in a relationship where I can totally be myself and have somebody who loves me completely exactly as I am? There's no way. Okay? We have made an impossible situation. How will I ever experience complete health when I've been doing this to my body for so long and they just gave me a death sentence? That's impossible. Okay? This is saying, in an impossible situation that you made, where you're like, how can I ever get out of this? This is impossible. I'll never get out of this. This is impossible. I'm so depressed. Maybe I should kill myself. I'm in an impossible situation. This is impossible. There's no way for me to get out of this. Have you ever been in that situation? Well, that's what we've all made for ourselves. And of course, in Miracles is saying, okay, you're in an impossible situation where you're like, this is impossible. There's no way out. I'm going to have to blah, 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 blah. Of course, in Miracles is saying, here's the deal. When you are in an impossible situation, it is possible for you to develop your abilities to the point where they get you out of that impossible situation. Everybody take a breath on that. Okay, so let me just ask you this. Are there any situations in your life right now that feel to you like this is impossible? There's no way I can get out of this. I can't see a way out of this. There's no way out of this. Even everybody's telling me there's no way out of this. Okay, are you in one of those right now? Have you ever experienced one of those? Okay, and well, if you have experienced one of those, if you are in one of those right now, where you're telling yourself, there's no way I can get out of this, this is an impossible situation. If you are in one of those, then listen very carefully to what this is saying. And I want you to tell yourself this, even if you don't believe it. Tell yourself, I can develop my abilities. Somehow, I can develop my abilities to the point where they get me out of this impossible situation. Tell yourself that, even if you don't believe it. We know you don't believe it, but it is the truth. And as you tell yourself that, it opens your mind and makes you more willing to hear the way. All right. Okay, anybody here ever felt that? I am in an impossible situation, there's no way out.
Every day.
Every day, all right, every day, thank you.
Every day and everybody.
Okay, all right, okay.
Need a chopstick?
I got it, thank you. Okay, so great. So tell yourself, there is a way that I can develop my abilities to the point where my abilities can get me out of this, even though it seems impossible. All right. Now, here, and don't forget to tell yourself that, okay? Now, here's the thing about that. It says, here's what you need to know about how to develop your abilities to the point where they get you out of what feels to you like an impossible situation. Here's what you need to know. You have a guide as to how to develop your abilities, the ones that will get you out of this. You have a guide to develop your abilities to get you out of this, okay? Hear that. But you have no commander except yourself. Okay? So you have a guide who will be like, okay, I know you're in an impossible situation. You're in jail right now, or maybe you've done something maybe you've done something where maybe you think you're about to go to jail for a long time. How are you going to get out of that? Maybe you feel like you're in a relationship. I've been in a relationship before that felt like I had made an impossible situation for myself that I felt like I could not get out of. I've been in lots of situations that felt so impossible that I just felt like I was screwed. I was doomed. Like, there's no way out. And everybody around me was like, yeah, that's right. You are doomed. You are screwed. Oh, well, I guess you're just going to have to, like, you know, do the time or whatever. So here's the deal. You do have a guide. You have a guide that can help you to develop your abilities that will get you out of that impossible situation. You do have a guide who will what? Help you develop your abilities. Okay? So when I was in that relationship that felt like it was an impossible situation, and I turned to my guide and I'm like, this feels like an impossible situation. Please teach me, please guide me as to how to develop whatever abilities I need to develop to get me out of it. Having no idea what that guide was going to do. And indeed, that guide was like, great. I'm going to teach you how to develop this ability, and I'm going to teach you how to develop this ability, and I'm going to bring you this class to help you develop this ability. I'm going to help you bring this book. I'm going to bring you this book that's going to help you develop this ability. I'm going to bring you this person who's going to help you develop this ability. I'm going to bring you this. And literally, my guides taught me how to develop these abilities that got me out of this situation that felt like an impossible situation. Okay, great. You have a guide who will help you to develop those abilities, but you have no commander besides yourself. So you got a guide who's going to teach you, but they're not going to force it on you. They're not going to force it on you. They're going to wait till you say, show me, teach me, show me, teach me. What did you say? Great, I'll do that. Oh, what did you say? I'll do that. Now, you got a guide, and your guide is going to say, go read that book. Go to that class. Go to that person. Go listen to that. But they can't command you. So if you're like, so if you don't say, all right, and you go do it, well then they can't command you. You have no commander except yourself. You have a guide,
Free will.
but you are the commander. They will tell you, go do this, go do that, how about this, how about that. But unless you command yourself, it's useless. There's been lots of times, so many times, I would turn to my guide and go, what should I do to get me out of this jam I'm in? And my guide will say, go do da 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 da. And then I go, no. And then I don't do it. And so what their guidance is useless. You have a guide who can help you develop your abilities to get you out of this so-called impossible situation, but you have no commander except yourself. Only you can make yourself do that. And I hear all the time, I'll be like, what should I do, Spirit? And I'll hear very specifically, go get this, go do that, go read that book, go talk to that person, and then do I do it? Not all the time. So I'll say it again, in what feels like an impossible situation, you have a guide who will help you develop your abilities that will enable you to get out of that impossible situation. But you have no commander besides yourself. So they can guide you, but they can't force you. Your guides are available to give you the most genius guidance that you could ever be beyond what you would come up with. But nobody can make you do it but yourself. Nobody can make you follow that guidance except yourself. And that's because these guides and these teachers are loving. If they made you do it or they did it for you, they wouldn't be helping you at all. So if you went to your guides and you were like, and they said, oh, all right, and they went and fixed it for you, how's that going to help you? What happens if you were a child and you had a problem and you went to your parent and you're like, and they always fixed your problems for you? How is that parent helping you? And spirit is the same way. Your guides and your teachers are just like that. If they went and fixed your problems for you, then what's the result? Then you have no idea that you have within yourself the ability to get yourself out of an impossible situation. And so your guides and your teachers are just like a wise parent. And lots of us had those parents. Lots of us have those partners where we're like, oh, blah, 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 happened, blah, 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 blah. And our partner goes, I'll fix that for you. Or as children, bring to our parents our upset, and our parent goes, I'll fix it for you. And then how does that serve you as a child? How does that serve you as a partner? If your partner or your parents go and fix the problem. All right. How are we doing? Okay. What are you saying? Oh. All right. Galia is sending me funny messages. All right. Oh, Tricia says I have to raise my hand. Very good. Exactly. All right. Okay. So I'm so happy to be able to talk to us all about the experience of being in what feels like an impossible situation. I mean, we're all in that right now in one form or another. Whether you're like, I'm on planet Earth and our planet's dying and they say we only have like 12 years worth of resources. That kind of feels like an impossible situation. Okay. Or I'm in a relationship right now and we've been together a long time and we're all enmeshed, and that feels like an impossible situation. I love it. Thank you, baby. I love it. So lovely. Okay. Jerry says, I have to wait for my guides to slap me upside the head before I get it. I know, me too, Jerry. I know. And there's Patrick Jameson. Hi, Pat. Lovely to see you. Pat was my first boyfriend when I was 13. How cool is that? Yes. Hi, honey. Lovely to see you. Okay. And my relationship with Patrick when I was 13 was scandalous. So, and the fact that he's still watching is like a miracle. Yeah. He and I were in an impossible situation. Okay. So it says this. It says you have a guide as to how to develop your abilities to get yourself out of an impossible situation, but you have no commander except yourself. Now, so for this to be practical as always, what I want you to do right now is I want you to ask yourself, what is it in my life right now that feels like a freaking impossible situation? Like here's the situation and I don't see any way out. Like I have this pain, I've had it for a long time, I don't see any way out. I have this relationship that, I don't see any way out. Here I am, whatever it is. What is it that feels to you like an impossible situation that maybe you've been working on for years and still nothing has happened? I want you to bring that so-called impossible situation to your awareness. And now I want you to tell yourself something different about it than you've been telling yourself. I want you to tell yourself this. It is possible to develop my abilities to the point where they get me out of this. Tell yourself that, even if you don't believe it. We know you don't believe it. That's why you got the situation. Tell yourself, it is possible for me to develop my abilities to the point where they get me out of this so-called impossible situation. And tell yourself this, I have a guide who will help me to develop my abilities that will get me out of this. And now I want you to speak to that guide and say, guide, whoever you are, guides of mine, please help me to develop my abilities that to get myself out of this impossible situation. Tell your guides that, please help me. Yes, please help me. Help me to develop whatever ability I need to develop that will get me out of this. And I have been in some of those situations, trust me. You know, I have been in some situations and relationships where I was like, I'm screwed. There's no way out. I'm screwed. I'm doomed. But I did what A Course in Miracles said to do. And I'm like, okay, guys, you said that you can help me to develop my abilities that will get me out of this. So do it. Help me. Okay, and so, and here I am today, right here, right now, here at Miracle Park, in a relationship with the love of my life, with my beloved best friend, having a good life. So I am a witness. I am a witness. It is real and it works. You know, I've been in those impossible situations just like you. And here I am right now as a witness that this works. And so do whatever you hear A Course in Miracles say to do it. Just say it, blah, 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 even if you don't believe it, and watch what happens. All right. Now, and your guide will say something like this: I can totally help you develop your abilities that will get you out of this impossible situation, but I cannot make you do it. You have no commander except yourself. I can tell you what to do, but I can't make you do it, okay? So your guide will tell you what to do. Your guide is a genius, a loving, brilliant genius. You will hear your guide say something, you'll be like, I never thought of that. That's what? I could just do that? Your guide will be like, yeah, just do that. And you'll be like, I never thought of that. That's really? That would work? And so your guide will tell you what to do, how to develop your ability to get you out of it, but your guide can't do it for you. Just like your parent can't do it. Well, your parent might try to do it for you, but you have no commander except yourself. So your guide will tell you what to do, but then only you can do it.
You get to decide.
Yeah, only you can be like, okay, I'll go do da la 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 la. You know, and that's the hard part. You know, it's easy to say these words and it's easy for your guide to tell you what to do. The hard part is you actually going and doing what it told you to do.
Believing that you can do it.
Mm-hmm. We have so much resistance that even though our guides are like spoon feeding us. We're like little babies. I'll just feed it to you with a spoon, and we're still like, you know, it's crazy. We're insane. You know, our guide is like spoon feeding it to us. As soon as we ask, our guides spoon feed it to us, and we're like, I don't like the way that tastes. I don't like the way that tastes. How about strawberry? And you're like, and they're like, I'm spoon feeding it to you, and you're like, no, I don't like strawberry. I want chocolate. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, you know, as often as you can, thank your guides for still taking care of you, as resistant and retarded as you are. Always be like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for still taking care of me, still helping me out as much as I resist. Thank you, 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 thank you. Don't forget to be in gratitude and thankfulness to your guides and teachers, your invisible helpers. because they are working overtime. All right. So, how are we doing on time? Great. All
Say
right.
goodbye.
Okay, not quite yet. We've got 15 minutes. All right. And then I think Arya's home.
10 minutes.
Okay. All right. It says, so now we are still in paragraph 2. Oh my God, paragraph 2.
You're totally innocent if you go over.
Thank you, Greg. Greg said I'm innocent if I go over. Thank you.
Galia said if you got it short,
But Galia said cut it short
because Selma is ready.
because she's ready to eat. Okay. All right. So it says you have a guide as to that will help you develop your abilities, that will get you out of an impossible situation, but you have no commander except yourself. Okay. Anything that loves you is something that will offer you all the help it can give you, but it will not force it upon you. It will not give you guilt. That's a true guide. So just so you recognize what a true guide is, they will offer you the guidance that will save your crazy butt, but they won't give you guilt, and they won't make you do it. They won't give you guilt, and they won't do it for you. That's how you know a true guide. Okay? Tricia says, that's right. That's right. You're just show up and the guides will guide us. Exactly. Okay, here it goes. This whole situation leaves you in charge of your experience, your reality, your experience, with both a guide to find your peace and a means to keep your peace. That's what you've got going for you. You got a guide to find your peace, and you got a means to keep it. That's what you've got going for you, but you have no commander except yourself. So you've got guides who'll show you the way, and you've got helpers who will help you to keep it. But no one who loves you, no true guide is going to try to do it for you or make you do it. Okay? That's the deal. That's the plan. But you do have a model to follow. Awesome. You have a model to follow who will strengthen your command and never detract from your command in any way. Wow. That's what you've got going for you. You've got all these helpers, all these teachers who are right there. Go this way. Here's this. Here's that. Here's some of that. Here's some of this. Go this way. Rah, rah, rah. You're awesome. We're rooting for you. You can do it. You have all of that kind of support. And they will never detract from your decision. You have all this support, but none of that support is going to do it for you, or to all they're going to do is strengthen your choice. They says they will strengthen your command but never detract from your command in any way. They won't take from you your power of choice. They won't do it for you. They won't take from you the remembrance that it's your decision. Once it's your decision, once it's your choice, you have all the support in the universe, okay? But if it's not your choice and it's not your decision, then there's nothing they can do. Even though they're ready to offer you all the support that you can that you need. That's what we have going for us. Wow. So if in any situation you are experiencing yourself as alone, and you can't do it, and you're not good enough, nobody's helping me, you are not perceiving correctly. If you're having a perception like, nobody's there to support me, I'm going to do it all by myself, what's really going on is you don't want it. That's the only thing that's going on, and they can't make you want it. It will never be that you're not surrounded by beings who are there to help you and strengthen your decision and strengthen your command. That will never happen. And so if you feel like you're alone and on your own, you have no support. What's really going on is you don't want it. That's the only thing that's really going on. And you need to take responsibility for that, forgive yourself for that, and choose once again. Okay, because you always have support. You always have beings who are there to strengthen your decision, your choice. All right. Okay. And the reason that says, all right, how you doing out there? Bridget says, that came to me earlier today. Wow, confirmation. Beautiful, Bridget. Yep, that's the way it is, Bridget. All the time. When you, Spirit is teaching us and trying to teach us all the time. And you can always tell Spirit's guidance, the guidance of your higher self and your spirit helpers, because they keep giving it to you over and over. This way, this way, that way. And then finally you're like, duh, oh my God, that's been 3 or 4 times today. So that's how you can recognize the guidance of your spirit. It's like themes. So themes. Okay, I've heard that message 3 times today. How weird. What does that mean? Oh, that's my guides. That's how they teach. They teach in themes because they're patient and they're consistent. I am resistant, and that's why they're like, okay, let's give it to her this way. Oh, let's say it to her through this person. Oh, let's say it to her through that. Let's show it to the, till finally I go, oh, I think I get it. You're trying to say blah, blah, blah. So always look for the patterns. Always look for the message and the themes that are repeated. That's Spirit trying to get to you what Spirit's trying to teach you. All right, so here we go. Because it says you are always in charge of your experience, and you have a guide to find your peace, and you have the means to keep your peace, and you have a model to follow. Now, who won't detract from your command in any way, which means what? You therefore retain the central place in your perceived enslavement. Okay, I'm going to say that to you again. I know I repeat myself a lot. I hear that. You're always repeating yourself. That's right. Because that's what it takes for us to hear it. This is why you always, You always retain the central place in your imagined enslavement. Okay. So we got an imagined enslavement, like this is limiting me, and that's limiting me, and they're limiting me, and my job is limiting me, and my health is limiting me, and money is limiting me, and this situation is limiting me. That's enslaving me. That's enslaving me. Is saying you always retain the central position, the central place in your imagined or perceived enslavement. Wow, which is a fact that demonstrates that you're not enslaved. So whatever you have going on that's seeming to enslave you, the truth is that you retain the central place in your imagined enslavement, which really proves that you're not enslaved. Nothing's being done to you. Nothing's happening to you. You're not a slave. You're not a victim of whatever is going on that seems to you like it's enslaving you. The truth is that you always retain the commander's position. You are always the one who is the commander. Always, no matter what seems to be happening to you. Now, why is that? The reason that you retain the central place in your imagined enslavement is because you are surrounded by guides and teachers and helpers who are ready to help you develop your abilities to get you out of it. And all that's required is you saying, yes, I accept that help and I will do what you tell me to do. And then boom, you're out of that so-called impossible situation. That's why you're not a victim. You're not a slave to what's ever going on. You always retain the central place in your imagined enslavement. So, in anything that seems to be limiting you or hurting you or enslaving you, you always are in the position where you can go, I ask for help in developing whatever abilities that I need to develop to get me out of this. I ask for help in developing my abilities that will get me out of this. And then there they are. You receive exactly what you asked for. That's why you are never a true and total slave or victim to whatever's going on. Ever. Because whatever imagined enslavement or so-called impossible situation you're in, you have a guide who can show you how to develop your abilities that will get you out of it. So, anytime you perceive yourself as a slave or a victim of something, it is a perception. It is not the truth. And as soon as you ask for help to develop your abilities that will get you out of it, you will be out of it. Says A Course in Miracles. And how beautiful is that? And then in paragraph 3 it says, you are in an impossible situation only because you thought it was possible to be in an impossible situation. Wow. So this is saying something pretty wild, and that is, it's impossible for you to be in an impossible situation. And you are in a so-called impossible situation only because you believe it's possible to be in an impossible situation. So what it's saying here is it's impossible for you to be in a situation or a relationship that you can't get out of. That's impossible. Wow. Isn't that good to hear? That you can't be in a situation that you can't get out of if you want to. And the way you get out of an impossible situation is not, oh, save me from this impossible situation. Who's going to save me? Oh, you'll save me. Woo, I'm out. That's not how you get saved. That's not how you get rescued from a so-called impossible situation. What this section is saying is you get out of an impossible situation by allowing your higher mind to teach you how to develop your own abilities to get you out. Okay? That's how you get out of an impossible situation. Okay? Why? Because if you're in an impossible situation, you're like, help me, get me out of this impossible situation. I can't get myself out of it. And somebody comes along and goes, I'll save you. And they rescue you from that impossible situation. Then what really happened there? What really happened there in that situation is that they taught you, you don't have the ability to get yourself out of an impossible situation. How is that helpful? What's helpful is that someone teaches you that you have the ability to develop your own abilities to get yourself out of an impossible situation. Now that is helpful. So when somebody comes and saves you, but you didn't learn you have the ability to do that for yourself, that's not helpful at all. Maybe you get out of that situation, but you still retain that belief in your own helplessness, and that's not helpful at all. And now you're going to create another impossible situation that you feel like you need to be saved from. So what your higher self does is your higher self goes, all right, you think you're in an impossible situation. I see that. You're desperate, you're terrified, you're afraid. Well, I'm going to teach you that you yourself have the ability within you that you can develop that will get yourself out of that, so that maybe you don't need to create that again. And maybe then you can feel more confident that even if I get myself in a jam, I have the abilities within me to get myself out of that. That's what's helpful. That's what your higher self and your guides and your teachers are available for and are offering you if you are willing to accept it and do what they tell you to do. All right. So that is where we're going to stop today. We did basically 3 paragraphs, and next Wednesday we will pick up where we left off, either on paragraph 3 or 4 in this section. I'm thrilled that you chose to use your very precious time to join this healing circle. And if you're joining this healing circle at the end of it, I invite you to go back to the beginning. There's some really good, valuable information about how to empower yourself and enable yourself to get out of what feels like an impossible situation. Very valuable, very practical information, very empowering, where you yourself feel your own, experience your own power. And also, if you would like to share this very useful, powerful information with the world, then you can share it on your Facebook feed. And also, if you would like to support this Course in Miracles ministry, a very easy and free way to do that would be to go to my YouTube channel, Anna Kujawa, Kujawa, and just hit like, share, and subscribe. Sharing is caring. And the more who subscribe to my YouTube channel, the more that informs YouTube that this is useful, valuable information. So, thank you for supporting this ministry, this Course in Miracles ministry, by doing that. And I have years worth of my Course in Miracles classes on my YouTube channel that's very easy to access, easier than going to my Facebook page. So thank you for going to my YouTube channel and sharing and subscribing. Thank you so much for supporting my ministry in that way. And so now I'm going to do announcements, and then I'm just going to do a 5-minute integration meditation where we take the ideas and we use them. All right? Casey says, I needed this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Casey. I really appreciate you watching, and I really appreciate you sharing that. Beautiful. And hi, Sue, and all of you. Truly. And thank you for sharing this on your YouTube feed as well. That also supports this Course in Miracles ministry. My only purpose is to be helpful, honestly. That is all I want to accomplish. A Course in Miracles is the most loving, brilliant, helpful curriculum for bringing people peace and healing, which we all need. We're all here in a body, all here on earth. We all need help. We all need help. We all need peace. And that's what A Course in Miracles is about. And that's my only purpose as a Course in Miracles facilitator, is to help have more peace and healing in oneself. So thank you for sharing and supporting this. All right. So, great. Jerry says, thank you. Amazing class. As always, I'm glad you got your signal working. That was Galia. All right. So announcements are this. Greg, my teaching partner, beloved, and fiance, between the two of us, we do 4 classes a week. We do a Sunday Facebook live stream class where we are teaching from A Course in Miracles about relationships and how to heal, how to bring peace and healing to relationships, something we're all in, we all need help with, even me. Course in Miracles teacher, psychotherapist, relationship therapist, I still need lots of help in how to have a loving, healing, holy relationship. And so Greg and I are teaching from A Course in Miracles about relationships, how to bring healing to them. Incredible class. I highly recommend it. That's Sundays, okay, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And then I do my Monday class from here at Miracle Park until COVID's done, and then I go back to the Miracle Center. And on Mondays, we do Miracle Roulette, where we allow Spirit to decide for us what in A Course in Miracles that we learn from that evening. So that's Miracle Roulette on Mondays. On Tuesdays, Greg does a Course in Miracles class where he does a beautiful synthesis of A Course in Miracles in the Bible. Bible is his history, but now he's a Course in Miracles teacher. And so he's doing this beautiful synthesis. That's Tuesdays. And on Wednesdays, like today, I'm just going through the annotated edition of A Course in Miracles. And all of those classes are from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. On Sundays, where Greg and I are a little bit more lax on the start time because we already do so many classes, so we're trying to relax a little bit on Sundays. It's the weekend. So that's 4 classes: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Facebook live stream. Now, also, I have been a holistic psychotherapist for a long time, and I've developed a psychotherapeutic niche called Miracle Psychotherapeutics for Course in Miracles students who would like some support while they're going through some kind of transition or challenge, and they want some psychotherapeutic support, but they want it from a Course in Miracles perspective. Just like me, when I'm going through something, I want, what does A Course in Miracles say about how to deal with this relationship issue or health issue or a job issue or whatever. And I'm available for that. I'm also a certified relationship therapist as well. I'm a play therapist, a relationship therapist, and just general psychotherapist. And so if you're looking for some either couple support or whatever, then you can reach out to me, and I'm available for that. And I do Skype, Zoom, phone, one-on-one if you're in Colorado, if you're in the area. But the best way to reach me to schedule a session is to either private message me on Messenger or go to my website, AnnaKujawa.com, ANNAKUJAWA. Find my phone number and text me. It's the best way to reach me. So, wonderful. I'm so thrilled to have you join this broadcast. I appreciate all your patience. This past Monday, we had a snowstorm, bad Wi-Fi. I didn't do class. So please forgive me for that. I'm kind of at the mercy of the elements here up in the mountains, and so thank you for your patience on that. Great. Now, 2-minute integration meditation, and then we'll be done for this class. And I know it's a little bit later. Wonderful. Beautiful. Jerry says there's 4, there's 2 invisible that you can see. Very good. All right, so all I want you to do right now is to close your eyes, and we're just going to breathe together for a moment. Just want to close your eyes and breathe and just feel. Just feel. How does it feel in your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions, to hear the ideas of A Course in Miracles? Beautiful. Now, I want you to bring to your awareness a situation or a relationship that right now feels like it is impossible. where you're like, I don't see my way out. I feel doomed. I feel screwed and I do not see a way out. I want you to bring that situation or relationship to your awareness. And if you can't come up with anything personal, then go global. Like, what are we? We got this global planetary situation going on, and I don't see any way out. Are we going to make it as a planet? So whatever it is, I want you to bring it to your awareness. And breathe. Now, I'm going to have you tell yourself the truth about this situation, like this section told us to tell ourselves. So the first thing I want you to tell yourself is, I think I'm in an impossible situation only because I think it's possible to be in an impossible situation. I think I'm in an impossible situation only because I think it's possible to be in an impossible situation. And I want you to tell yourself, this situation is not impossible. This situation is not impossible. And breathe. Great. Now, I want you to say to your higher self, please show me how to develop my abilities that can get me out of this so-called impossible situation. Tell yourself, I can develop my abilities to the point where my abilities can get me out of this impossible situation. Higher self, Spirit of truth within me, teach me how to develop my abilities to the point where they can get me out of this situation. And breathe. And say to your higher self, what abilities do I need to develop that will get me out of this situation? Higher self, what abilities do I need to develop that will get me out of this so-called seeming impossible situation? Show me. Teach me. I am willing. Beautiful. Now tell yourself, I retain the central place in my perceived enslavement. I have done this unto myself. I am not a victim. I retain the power of decision. I am not powerless. I am not a victim of this situation. higher self, guide me in developing whatever abilities will get me out of this. And thank you. Beautiful. All right. Good job. Take a breath. Way to empower yourself. You are not a victim of the world you see. You are not a victim of this situation. You are powerful. I appreciate you. I appreciate that you've used your very precious time to join this healing circle. Thank you for sharing this class with others, and I will see you next time I see you.